Good morning. It is Sunday, April 26th. It is the Lord's Day today, and the title of our devotional is Abounding Iniquity, Receding Love. We'll be reading in Matthew 24, starting in verse 10. It says, "And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another, and many false prophets shall rise and deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." We see that here Matthew's talking about in the end times what's going to happen, and we see that today. We see people pulling away from the Lord, and we see that there is more sin and less love. It's very important that the child of God maintain their Christianity, maintain their faithfulness all the way to the end. This morning I went to make my egg sandwich as I do, and I grabbed the sourdough, San Luis sourdough, and you see here it says no artificial preservatives. Well, the bad thing about that is with no artificial preservatives you get things like mold. Brand new loaf, already showing mold in it. In biblical times they didn't have artificial preservatives. What they had was salt. And they would take and they would pack their meat in salt, that it might preserve it. We are called in Matthew 5:13 the salt of the earth. And so our Christianity is not just for ourselves. It's for the entire world. And so as an agent of preservation to keep this world from rotting and become completely useless for the Lord, I need to be salty. I need to allow that salt to kind of preserve. And so my Christianity needs to extend beyond me. Well, how does that happen? Well, first it has to start with me. I've got to be a true child of God that is very committed to the Lord. My Christian disciplines need to be in practice. I need to be in the Word of God, in prayer, in services, and serving God. I need to meditate and contemplate the things of God. I need to discuss these things. I need to get into the finer details of the theology and really allow that to become a part of who I really am, that I might be burdened for other people. That I might, when I read the New Testament and see Christ, I might see that in my life. The more of Him and less of me, that I can become a preservative in this world. We're seeing more Christians that are pulling back. Instead of 3 times a week, it is 3 times a month. We're seeing less of God in homes and more of the world. Through all kinds of devices, the internet, the world is coming into people's homes. And we're finding parents that are seeing their children, they don't have any first-hand faith. And a parent may assume that just because I've taken them to church and I love the Lord, that they are committed to the Lord. They haven't really experienced it on their own. We need to be fervent in prayer, fervent in our study of the Word of God, and teaching our children, using every opportunity, as Deuteronomy 6 says, to point out when we sit down, when we rise up. We need to share with them, this is God, this is what God is doing. That they might know, that it might become theirs, that they might affect the world that we live in today. Our passion for God can permeate this world and be a preservative until the Lord comes back. Be in services today. ClovisLive.com. We'll be on live streaming on Facebook, and then also if you're a church member on Zoom. So let's continue on during these difficult times. May God richly bless you. See you soon.